The results are in as hundreds of thousands of New Mexicans vote in the primary election. New Mexico was one of 6 states up for grabs today.
Of course, the big race is the run for the White House, and tonight New Mexico has spoken. On the Republican side, presumptive Republican presidential nominee Donald Trump added New Mexico to his total tonight. But also of note is the number of New Mexican Republicans who voted for other candidates who have already dropped out of the race, ended up with almost 30% of the vote. Even though Trump had all but clinched the Republican nomination, he also campaigned here in New Mexico, reaching out to Hispanic voters.
On the Democratic side, Hillary Clinton defeated her rival Bernie Sanders convincingly. The latest numbers show her with a 4-point victory. She didn't make it here, but she sent her husband, former President Bill Clinton, who campaigned for her across New Mexico. Bernie Sanders came to New Mexico personally asking for your vote in Albuquerque and in Santa Fe, where he was greeted by large crowds, but it was just not enough. A big night for Hillary Clinton as she adds New Mexico and New Jersey to her total.
News 13's Alex Goldsmith is live at Clinton campaign headquarters near Manal in Louisiana with that story. Alex?
Well, Dean, Jessica, as you can see behind me, most supporters have already cleared out, many calling it an early night on this historic night. Supporters here tell me tonight was less about Hillary Clinton winning New Mexico and more about Hillary Clinton winning the Democratic nomination.
This is important to me, especially as a woman. I think we're making history.
And I think also now it's just about unifying the party and just seeing how far we can go with this and just really putting our first woman into office, but also just such a qualified candidate in general.
Supporters applauding during Clinton's speech declaring victory in her long primary battle with Bernie Sanders. A bit of an anticlimactic night as a number of news organizations reported she had clinched the nomination last night. Although Clinton did not visit New Mexico, she was still able to win the state, just as she did in 2008 against Barack Obama. Over at Sanders' campaign headquarters, disappointment that the senator fell short here and nationwide.
A year ago, Bernie Sanders was an unknown figure in New Mexico, and this is to say that Hillary Clinton won, and then to come in now to be within 10 points. They've been working so hard for over a year, and I think it really shows.
Meanwhile, on the Republican side, Donald Trump is already the nominee. Despite that, more than a quarter of Republican voters here voted for someone else in the primary. Now, New Mexico went strongly for Barack Obama in 2008 and 2012. At this point, it's expected that that trend would continue this year in November. But of course, plenty of time between now and the general election. Back to you.
All right, Alex, thank you. In the race for Bernalillo County District Attorney, Raul Torres will be moving on as the Democratic candidate. Torres, a former local and federal prosecutor, beat Ed Perea, a former APD officer. Torres outspent Perea, and he went heavy on TV ads, which in this case seemed to work. Torres will now face Republican Simon Kubiak in November. Kubiak was unopposed on the Republican side. The winner will replace District Attorney Carrie Brandenburg, who is leaving that post after 16 years.
It is a tight 3-way race tonight for Democrats vying for the Bernalillo County Commission seat that covers the South Valley and West Side. Breaking Bad actor and APS board member Stephen Michael Quesada barely leading the pack by just 75 votes. Here's a look at those numbers. It's followed by Adrian Pedrosa and Robert Chavez. It's a race that has gotten heated and ugly as they fight to replace longtime Commissioner Art de la Cruz. Again, that race really tight. The winner will face Republican candidate Patricia Pais in the general election.